referred to sort of as the master antioxidant that, and what oxidation really refers to, and again, what glutathione's role is, when we're doing all that work that's considered life, the fallout are sort of these reactive species. The fallout are these chemicals and compounds that could react with otherwise stable components in our cells, and reacting with those otherwise stable components and say removing their electrons, that is destabilizing to otherwise healthy tissues, and it constitutes damage. So glutathione is something that selectively acquires and captures those electrons and thereby prevents the cellular damage that can occur, that cellular fallout. So glutathione is at the top of the list of internally, and oftentimes we talk about one of the benefits of alpha lipoic acid and one of the benefits of CoQ10. Beyond their obvious individual benefits is they support and promote the recycling of glutathione, so we get even more benefits from glutathione because of the use of CoQ10, because of the use of alpha lipoic acid. So it underscores the importance of glutathione. For
sure, a good portion of these were spoken for in that little abbreviated look earlier. So I would definitely encourage you, if this has been on your radar, like it's been on my radar, my doctor actually told me I should be taking glutathione, ironically enough, and I didn't know that this was something you were working on, but it's good for me.
It's, as I said before, it was something we've been working on for a long time. As I said, I probably initially looked at it 20 years ago, then looked at it again 10 years ago, and then we looked at it again about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's when it was very positive. But nevertheless, it takes us a while. We tend to not rush things to, what is it, no product before its times. It's time, we tend to not rush things to market. In fact, we have amazing vitamin C drinks, and the vitamin C drinks are pretty much done the end of last year. But I just didn't think this was the right time to roll them out. So we'll probably introduce our vitamin C drinks later this year, and they're amazing. They're 500 milligrams per drink because you don't want more than that, and they're delicious and things. So we tend to be our pet products are coming out, our pet joint product is coming out. So I really enjoy, I don't enjoy bad reviews. I have a real problem because I read all of them. I read the feedback. So I like to make sure that when we introduce a product, we've really done a good job vetting that product and knowing that the experience you're going to get is going to be a positive experience. And if you post review, it's going to be a positive review.
Absolutely. So detoxification at a cellular level then, is that kind of what, I mean, when you think about it, because, you know, our body, even digestion is kind of an explosive process when you think about it. The fact that you've got it right now, right here, definitely take advantage of it. Special purchase pricing. We've got your size as long as you are selecting it now. So we are at the top of the hour. Welcome in. It is HSN. You're watching Andrew Lessman. He's our #1 brand. He's been making the world's finest vitamins for over 40 years. And this is his last show of the visit. So we do have, because it's been a very busy day here at HSN, we actually have a couple of...
I'm going to go get my, I'm just going to get my tea.
Sounds good. We've got a couple of today's specials to talk about, and those will be an abbreviated look at the end of this hour. This is Andrew's last show of the visit. He will be back next month, but definitely take advantage of these special pricing and free shipping and all that good stuff.
And now, oatmeal and oat bran, again, sort of like Essential One, coincidentally, happens to be our monthly special. And I'm here in Florida. The puppies are out west with Muriel. And Muriel was saying, you know, what if they close restaurants, things like that? What are you going to do? So, so I just brought a very large bag of oatmeal and a very large bag of oat bran, and I said I'll have super low cholesterol levels when I get home. And so for me, and perhaps with all the things that are going on, perhaps it gives us an opportunity to maybe focus on eating a little bit healthier, to make better decisions, trying to find, maybe to develop better habits that we carry forward in the future. But our oatmeal and oat bran is unlike any other oatmeal or oat bran you're going to find anywhere in the world. There's no other oatmeal or oat bran that is as heart healthy as ours, as fresh as ours. We deal in small quantities. We're not some big oatmeal company. And also, when you're dealing with oatmeal or oat bran that is organic and gluten-free, you're dealing with something that originally, when we set out to make this, they didn't exist. There was organic oats in terms of organic oat bran and organic oatmeal, but not also gluten-free. The reason why our country is so overrun with wheat that the oat products were basically contaminated. So all oats weren't technically gluten-free.
Wow.
Ours are. They're both, whether it's the oat bran or the oatmeal, they're both gluten-free. So I think on the screen right now is oatmeal. The oat bran is also available, but it's an opportunity to significantly lower your total and LDL cholesterol. Oat bran and oatmeal work great on their own. Our version, because of the addition of plant sterols, which make them even creamier, that make them even sort of sweeter and milder, which is why the reviews of this product, as great as the reviews are, most of them, a lot of them deal with cholesterol level,
right,
but most of them deal with flavor and texture. And that's because our oats are truly unique in that regard. So you're going to enjoy these like no other oats you've ever had before. It is my standard breakfast every single day. Depending on if restaurants close, it will be my lunch and dinner as well. But that'll be fine. Oddly enough, I'm fine with making whatever sacrifices I need to make right now, only because I know it's temporary. So whatever they ask us to do on a community level, you know, whatever it is we need to do to protect ourselves and our loved ones and in the best interests of our society, our country, it's going to be a blink of an eye. As long as this lasts, in retrospect, it will have been a blink of an eye as our most difficult times in our life. So we just need to adapt. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're struggling to find things in a grocery store, which I know might...
Sure.
Is certainly that I've noticed, that then here's oatmeal or oat bran that are superior to anything you'll find in a grocery store. It will be the healthiest oatmeal and oat bran you've ever encountered, the most delicious as well. So it's a way to be healthy while we're being a little bit challenged.
Absolutely, and certainly take it. We don't do this on special purchase pricing very often. I mean, I'm a huge fan of both.
No,
so
and this is not special. This is our monthly special. So it really is great pricing.
It really is, especially if you're someone like myself. Whether you're having it for breakfast, which you will, and you'll start to crave this, ironically enough, because it does have a really nice savory aspect to it, in addition to those side benefits of lowering your cholesterol. To Andrew's point, special monthly savings. So these are savings that we do not ordinarily see. Of course, your 30, 60, 90, or 180. Yes, and I'll just show this real quickly. The oat bran is also available. I love both. And one quick aside, big shout out to my darling Marielle. She has a cookbook. You can use these as I use it for an ingredient, like for meatballs. Sometimes I'll add it to a smoothie. So not just for breakfast anymore.
And plus, as I can attest,
right,
I just threw these in my luggage. These are not that anyone.
We have free shipping.
Not that anyone would ever contemplate this in terms of travel.
Right, well,
this is not a travel size, but for me, it's a travel size. But or at least recently, right now.
Right.
And again, because of the way we go about making our oats organic, gluten-free, the addition of these plant sterols, just a breakfast serving every day, and you could expect. I mean, for me, my cholesterol numbers are good to start with. And my cholesterol numbers went down dramatically when I had it with breakfast, when I also tried to incorporate it. If I made a smoothie later in the day, I'd put a quarter cup into my smoothie, and all it did was improve the texture of the smoothie. Yeah. So in doing that, I saw a significant, actually an enormous reduction total in LDL cholesterol. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of the power that oats possess, and then enhance it with an FDA-approved ingredient, plant sterols, to lower total and LDL cholesterol, and thereby help to reduce your risk of heart disease. So what a great opportunity to get some secure, healthy food to your house, and we'll speak about secure in a moment, and to make sure that it's also as heart healthy as any food that you're going to be serving to your family.
Absolutely, and you taste the difference, kind of like the Andrew Lessman difference, and that's why I say it's not just for breakfast anymore. You will find yourself adding this as like a bulking agent, 2 smoothies, 2 meatballs, you know, whatever you're doing, cakes, muffins.
Muriel will leave it overnight and make oat milk, and even now,
overnight oats.
I make oat bran, or I make the oatmeal in the microwave. It's very easy to do if you're in a hurry, and often I am. It literally takes 60 seconds.
It does.
You know, a quarter cup, and you just add a little bit more water, sort of, than you have oats in there, and it's really easy to do. And oats, most people don't realize this. They think of it as like a high carb grain. No, it's high in fiber. It's also high in protein, and it's a complete protein. probably of all the grains, and of course it's gluten-free as I said, of all the grains, I would say oats are perhaps the best protein source. So it really is not just all about heart health, which this product certainly delivers better than anything else could, but it also is such a healthy food in so many other ways. It's sugar-free, so it's not going to spike your blood sugar. So if you're someone who's watching your blood sugar, it's a great way to start the day.
Boy, where have I been? The fig and pistachio oatmeal, I'm going to have to try that.
No, the recipes are incredible, incredible.
They are indeed. And more importantly, you're just like the Andrew Lessman difference on our today's specials, of course, abbreviated looks at the end of this hour. You taste the difference, you feel the difference. There's everything to feel good about with this. Definitely take advantage of this monthly special pricing because it is not the kind of thing, I mean, listen, I buy it regardless, but the fact that you're getting both free shipping and your flex pay, customer pick, biggest savings that we have seen. You just choose your size of choice in the 30, the 60, the 90, or the 180. I love that Andrew, and he's always thinking of you and thinking of the environment. Like I said, the American pioneer and American success story. Even, of course, reducing kind of the footprint on those bags is something that he thoughtfully thinks about, in addition to making these with the energy of the sun, you know, keeps all that freshness and that goodness in. So you really do think of everything before you offer it.
We try to, and of course, even our plastic containers, which I am not a big fan of plastic, but all of our plastic, in about a decade or so ago, we forced the company that makes our plastic containers to use post-consumer resin. Their machines weren't set up to use post-consumer resin, so all of the plastic we use all is from recycled material, which is hard to do because the recycling industry isn't what it used to be. So you pay a premium, I say as a manufacturer, we pay a premium to use the recycled plastic, but I think that's what you expect me to do, and that's the only way I would want to make plastic. I don't want to make virgin plastic, and to the extent I can in the future, I'm looking at all sorts of solutions to eliminating plastic in the future. So rest assured, the moment it's practical to do that and it doesn't compromise the product, I will make sure we are there.
Are you going to be able to put more quantities in? And I'm
pretty confident. I haven't, but I think we should be fine.
Sounds
we
good.
should be fine. I'm pretty sure we can make more. I know we're down to our our dozens in each side.
Yeah.
So, but I think we should be fine.
Sounds good. Because, by the way, if you are channel surfing, the reason I defer to Andrew beyond the obvious, his name's on the show, is you make it.
And plus, unlike most vitamin products or supplement products in the United States, which are made by contract manufacturers. There are large contract manufacturing companies that make the products for other companies. So those companies don't have to invest in all of the expensive and complicated infrastructure and all the regulatory obstacles and hurdles and things like that. But we manufacture everything. We manufacture everything ourselves. So again, that's one of the reasons why we manage, especially with the Essential One, which would have been entirely sold out. We're not sold out of Essential One.
Absolutely. You know what? I would have known that we were airing Secure before I even got here because I smell that pina colada.
Right.
Oh,
no, but we have all of the flavors are available. Chocolate, vanilla, coffee, pina colada, even our berry flavor. And the reason why we decided to do Secure today, again, I read all the feedback, I read all the suggestions, and a lot of folks were talking about the fact that they were thrilled that they took advantage of the large size of Secure when we did a Today Special a few months ago for the Secure. Because with some of the challenges finding and getting the things they need or actually going out and going to grocery stores, a lot of folks are trying to avoid going to those kinds of places even though they might not have what they even want. But so it's an opportunity to make sure that you're getting a nutritious meal at home, a nutritious meal for you, for your loved ones, and to do it affordably as well. In the large size, it's basically less than 80 cents a meal, so it's incredibly affordable, also incredibly nutritious, rich in vitamins and minerals as well.
And not only low calorie, low sugar, gluten-free, I mean, non-GMO, all the things that you really look for. And it's basically the most delicious, yummy multivitamin. I mean, for lack of a better term. I mean, this is, you know, you're drinking your multivitamin, basically.
Well, it's not essential one,
right? But
it's a meal that's rich in vitamins and minerals, and every meal should be a rich source of nutrition. And this is certainly a very rich source of nutrition. So especially now, when we're trying to eat healthy amid all the challenges that are going on, this is a way. The name is Secure, and we've always called it Secure in terms of the fact that it was not just a low-calorie meal replacement, but it delivered the nutrients that you would expect from a technical and scientific basis. And that's why when I originally made the product 30 plus years ago, you could be secure in the product that it delivered the vitamins and minerals and nutrition you needed. It was low in fat, low in carb, low in sugar, but it also didn't taste good. So it originally, its initial days, it was averaging a little bit more than 2-star review.
Oh, wow.
So it took a lot of work on my part, and I felt bad reading the initial reviews, to improve the product. And we had to invest just as much time, energy, effort, even in terms of the cost of the product, money, to make it taste as good as it was technically good. And most companies making meal replacements, I have to say almost all companies, don't invest in the flavor.
Right.
And they really don't invest technically in the nutrients either. And I'm just going to mix one up here just to show how unique this is. I'll put 3 scoops.
And look at how fine this is.
So that's 3 meals effectively there. And it's that fine a powder because that directly affects its solubility. And of course, each of the nutrients, from the vitamins to the minerals to the protein, each of the components is specifically selected and specifically created to be soluble. So that's 3 scoops in about 8 ounces of water, and it's basically already fully soluble, as you could see. And that's without a blender.
I know.
And that was a tremendous amount of effort from a research and development standpoint to create a product, because that ease of solubility is why in your mouth, because it tastes so good, and I'm salivating just even smelling it. But that's the reason why it has the texture and mouthfeel that you want. It doesn't have that kind of lumpy, chunky, sawdusty feeling of so many protein-rich products. And that's got almost 30 grams of protein in it, what I just put in that glass. And you see how it's completely dissolved. And if I let it sit there for 10 minutes, it would still be completely dissolved.
It would. So you choose your size of choice. So we've got the 10 meals, 30 meals, 60 meals, and 100 meals. Everything has free shipping. Everything is flexi. I know, it's like like that shake from your fast food.
It's just so you could see that little bit of stirring I did. It just shows you how...
Isn't that wild?
How well it mixes.
Look at how creamy that looks.
I mean, it just... and that was about 3.5 scoops in about 8 ounces of water.
So good.
And it's absolutely, absolutely delicious. It's designed to be overly rich in flavor, maybe a little bit too sweet, because it gives you the flexibility to dissolve it in more fluid, to use less of it. So it makes it more economical, because if it doesn't have enough flavor, you're lost. So we want to make sure that we err on the side that it gives you the ultimate amount of flexibility, rich in nutrition. I think I have a chart here that shows the vitamins and minerals it contains.
Nice.
So going from the top, it contains 70% of the RDA of vitamin C, 50% of the RDA of vitamin D, 70% of vitamin E, natural vitamin E, 70% of B1 and B2, 60% of vitamin B3, vitamin B5, 100%, vitamin B6, because that's fat burning, vitamin B6, 60%, vitamin B12, 500%, biotin, 500%, 5 times more than the leading multivitamins, folic acid, calcium, magnesium, selenium, chromium. So it really is rich and comprehensive from the standpoint of nutrition. So during a time like this, where we might be a little bit potentially challenged getting to the supermarket and finding the things we want, it's a nice way to have 1 or 2 meals. And it also favors a weight loss plan while you're trying to deal with certain other things. Why not make some progress in an area that's important to us, which is in perhaps body composition? So it's a secure meal in terms of nutrition. It's a secure meal in terms of we'll deliver it to your door, free shipping and handling.
And it's a weekend special, so it's great pricing, it's free shipping, great flex pay. So remember, you choose how many meals you want, and then you choose your flavor. So 10, 30, 60, or 100 meals respectively. And then you choose, do you want chocolate, vanilla, coffee? Pina colada has quickly become one of the tops. I think we do have berry available as well.
And pina colada, vanilla. Vanilla for me is the most flexible because
Right.
I could put that, I'll put that in a green drink.
Sure.
I'll put that in a fruit smoothie because oftentimes what I just do is I throw in some frozen berries. I throw in any kind of frozen fruit that is sitting in the freezer because the fruit in the refrigerator often goes bad. The fruit in the freezer always is good, and it's great to make a smoothie. So I just add a little water. I throw in some blueberries, maybe some chunks of pineapple, whatever it might be. And again, it's less than $1 a meal. It's been a long time since I was a little kid when they had those commercials that talked about going to the fast food restaurant and maybe getting change back from your dollar. But now you get a meal replacement that's far more nutritious than any meal you can get at a fast food restaurant, and you get change back from your dollar. So a typical meal replacement is several dollars a meal. This is less than $1 a meal, and it's something that it's just good to have in the cupboard, especially nowadays. It's good to have in the cupboard as a safe, secure, nutritious meal.
Absolutely, and I know time does not permit to give all the science and all the other great things around it. Take a moment to read some of the reviews.
And the reviews. I mean, this was a product that started off with average 2-star reviews, and over the last decade, it's now averages over 4 stars, so it's a customer pick, which is incredibly difficult to accomplish for any food, anything that's flavored, least of all a 60-plus calorie meal replacement. So to think that this has become a customer pick is a testament to the investment you encouraged me, I won't use the word forced me, but encouraged me to make. And I had to learn that a great meal replacement isn't just all about the science, because maybe if it was an IV, it would all be about the science. But as long as it's going in our mouth and we're tasting it, it really became about the sensory, what you're sensing, the texture, the flavor, the aroma. And those are the things we focused on. And all we used as our blueprint, it was actually pretty easy. We just used those wonderful fast food shakes. That the only reason you consume them is their flavor, because there's nothing else good in them. There's just a lot of calories and they're really delicious. So we use that as our blueprint. We went to the same flavor houses they probably went to get the special flavors to make ours taste just as good.
Absolutely, and no kidding, you'll start to crave these. I mean, you really will. They are that good. They are that yummy. They're that nutritious, all hovering at about 60 calories, more or less, and take advantage of that weekend special pricing as well. Remember, choose how many meals and then choose your flavor. And the good news is I think we have all of them and all the various choices tonight.
Yeah. And we're doing a very limited, we did a very limited discussion on our Today's Special Essential One to start. And we'll do a limited discussion at end of this hour. But I just wanted to talk about theanine. This is another brand new product that we just introduced. One of those things that, unbeknownst to me, it turned out to be a reasonably, gosh, that secure pina colada is so good.
I know, it's so good, isn't it? Yeah.
But it turned out to be a very timely product.
Yes.
Because what theanine is really known for, and I'll even tell you my personal experience with it over the last few decades, but what it's known for is being an unusual calming, natural calming product. And by unusual natural calming product, usually when we think of a calming product, we think of something we're going to take to help us go to sleep. That's what we think about as calming and relaxing. But when it comes to theanine, it's a very interesting kind of calming. It's kind of that meditation kind of calming, where it's calming that comes with enhanced focus, enhanced concentration, enhanced attention. So it's sort of, for me, I call theanine kind of my laser-focused product. And where theanine really came in handy for me, and when I originally discovered it in the first place, was I'm someone that if I could have just a little tiny espresso, I often mention this on air when we talk about the coffee secure, which is real coffee. That's something I have to use very carefully, because the caffeine for coffee for me will have me bouncing off the walls. I don't tolerate the caffeine for coffee well. And generally the only time I'll do that is before I exercise, because then it's sort of, for me, a performance-enhancing aid. It's my equivalent of a legal drug, using a little bit of espresso before I go for a run or something like that. But I still have that sort of uncomfortable feeling when I do it. However, if I add 200 milligrams of theanine, I don't have that experience. And where I originally discovered it, I'm someone who I couldn't have that tiny little espresso that might have 50 milligrams of caffeine. But with no problem at all, I could drink a quart of green tea that probably has 200 milligrams of caffeine. How does that make sense? 50 milligrams of caffeine has me bouncing off the walls, but 200 milligrams of caffeine has a calming effect on me. And the reason why is theanine. The pretty much unique source for theanine in the natural world is green tea, is tea in general. Green tea is an abundant source of theanine. And theanine is sort of a counterpoint to the caffeine in tea, which is why people have always considered a cup of tea relaxing.
Sure.
That's interesting, they consider it relaxing, yet it contains caffeine. And the reason why it's relaxing, the reason why it enhances focus, it's the theanine. So, sort of a good product for right now. I was talking about earlier, really important for us to stay calm and to relax, but not forget what we need to focus on. That there are certain things we need to do and we need to pay attention to. We need to pay attention to all the guidance we're getting, but we don't want it to stress us out. Because being stressed, being worried, being anxious, unfortunately, I could show you clinical studies where they look at the physiology of those emotions and those feelings, and they are adverse to our immune system, directly adverse to our immune system. Of course, they're adverse to relaxing sleep as well. So to the extent we could stay calm, to the extent we could stay focused, that's a good thing right now. So theanine is sort of an interesting amino acid. It has direct access to our brain because it can bypass the blood-brain barrier. And all it is by an amino acid, there are a couple of dozen amino acids. We all know of them as being the components in, say, protein, or in enzymes in our body, or in important molecules like hemoglobin or insulin. Those amino acids are the structural components. But you can't find in any of those structures, you can't find theanine, because theanine is not an amino acid that's a structural constituent or component. Theanine is, as I said, uniquely found in green tea and just has this very individualized property in terms of its calming effect and focusing effect. So it's a fascinating ingredient. Best of all, as exciting and unique as it is, it's really affordable. And all you need to take is a single capsule. It's not something you take a handful of capsules.
Well, I know you debuted this earlier. Thousands are spoken for. And
yep.
so...
It's very little left, and
right.
It's probably not going to last the end of this show.
Okay, that's kind of what I was wondering. I did order mine earlier. If you haven't, now's a great opportunity to do so. In the 60, the one...
We'll be able to restock it before I get back.
Okay, perfect.
For sure. Yep.
But on the 60, the 180, and the 360, with that great introductory, that weekend special pricing...
A little more than a dime a capsule.
That's wild.
And even for some of you who just have to have that cup of coffee in the morning, and I know a lot of folks, certainly Muriel is one of them, but coffee often comes with that edge.
Sure.
And as much as we like certain feelings coffee might give us, we don't necessarily like that edge, and sometimes it could be a pretty sharp edge. Theanine would be a fun little experiment to see if you could sort of turn that intensity of the coffee, take a little bit of the sharpness of that edge off using theanine. Or say if there's a time in the afternoon when you start losing a little bit of your focus, you might be a little bit tired or something like that.
Right.
What's interesting, or if you're stressed, it's an opportunity to try a natural tool to take a little bit of an edge off that stress.
Absolutely. So I would certainly encourage you to take advantage of it. I was grateful that Andrew did this. My doctor had actually recommended that I take theanine for a number of different reasons, you know, I won't bore you with, but I want to be taking Andrew's, and if you've been told the same thing, I know you feel like I do, you want to be taking Andrew's, because we can tell you for a fact he manufactures the world's finest vitamins. He's been doing it for over 40 years, and the fact that you have, well, at least for the time being, the final quantities at this weekend special price. Jump in now, 30-day return policy on everything that we offer here at HSN as always, free shipping when Andrew is here, and this is his last show of the visit. He will be back in April, but just remember, I would definitely encourage you, especially if you're someone like me. My doctor did tell me I should be taking theanine, and I want to be taking his, and tonight and today is the day that you can do that.
It's an ingredient what's interesting, I've known about it for so long, I never really thought it was an ingredient that others would adopt the way I had adopted, and funnily enough, it's become quite popular. And for us, it's something that I think it's a wonderful addition, because all too often when we're reaching for something that's calming, it's something that kind of takes us out of things.
Sure.
So this is an opportunity to do something that almost seems contradictory, that it's something that offers a calming benefit, but at the same time, it's not kind of getting us out of it. It's calming, but it's also enhancing our focus.
For sure, it's a real dichotomy. I mean, it really is. So definitely grab yours. Wow, this show is going by quickly,
I
isn't
know
it?
we've only got 20 some odd minutes, a little under half hour. So what we'll do now is we'll spend some time on Essential 1, then we'll mention the cranberry and cinnamon, and these are the last opportunities on the Today Special. Although, as I said, because these are unique times, and things are, it seems like every time I get back to the hotel and I turn on the TV and more things are changing. So we need to relax, take a deep breath, and just take all of these changes in stride. But because it's sort of a unique time, and not sure what kind of access we're going to have to certain kinds of services and things like that, we're going to make sure that Essential 1, as a foundational component to a healthy diet, the vitamins and minerals we all need, that normally at midnight tonight, the Today Special goes away, the special configuration goes away, and the special price goes away. That is not going to happen tonight. So I guess for the first time in probably almost 30 years, we're going to continue to make this available. Whatever we need to continue to produce it, we will, and we'll get it to HSN. So we'll continue this. Hopefully we could continue this till April 1st. So if you or someone you love, say if you weren't watching, I'm not even sure if we'll have a video from this that we could even run in the overnights or something like that, just to let people know, because most people would assume, oh, they missed it, but you didn't. But again, there's no other multivitamin like this. It is the very foundation of what I do, because when we talk about a nutritional supplement or a dietary supplement, if you look at pretty much all of the products I make, that's what they are designed to do in terms of our dietary supplements. They're designed to compensate for or deliver something that you're not getting from your diet. Typically, and most importantly, it might be in a product like this, vitamin D. But unlike a typical multivitamin that gives you a token amount of vitamin D, we give you separate levels because that's what we want. So 2,000 IU, that's what we need, better than want. That's what we're told we need. We need those 2,000 IU of vitamin D3. So you don't have to get a separate vitamin D to get that here. It's in my multivitamin. The vitamin B12, another ingredient that is typically so insufficient or deficient in the American diet and the American public, 250 micrograms, and not the cyanocobalamin. If it sounds like cyanide, it does for a reason, because when you process the typical B12, it liberates trace amounts of cyanide. That's a form of B12 that should just go away. And methyl B12, methylcobalamin, should be the standard form. It's the standard form inside your body. That's what your body uses. Why not make that the standard form in a supplement? So whether you look at this from the standpoint of the quantity, which gives you what you actually need and want, but the quality, the form that you need and want, this is without comparison. So for 41 years, this has been the best one capsule or one pill multivitamin. Most of them are rock hard tablets. But today, more than ever, I think when people truly focus and look at things with a more critical eye and through a more critical lens, this really shines in how unique it is.
Absolutely, and I know if you are watching HSN for the very first time, Andrew, again, he just said, making and manufacturing the world's finest vitamins for over 40 years. Yes, we go armed with information, and I think certainly we start our day with good intentions, regardless of whether it's this time in history and what's been happening recently, or whether we're just all getting older and you realize, you know, if I would have known better, I would have done better. This is the place to start. And when you do so, you are getting not only our finest value, he does this once a year and once a year only. You choose your sizing in the 50, 100, 200, or 400. Remember that 400 count is only done when it's a Today's Special. If you are new, here's where pricing goes. Here's where pricing is today. So kind of keep that in mind. So part of the reason everybody is going to that 400 count is not just the news and the headlines being responsible, but you can see you can actually double your capsule size for less than what you will spend on the 200. Now, to reinforce what Andrew was talking about, remember, it takes seconds. It's one capsule, just one a day.
If you look at our B12, and mind you, we make a number of separate B12s.
Yes.
The 250 micrograms is our second to highest potency. And you should never need to take, say, more than 250 micrograms of B12. What's interesting about B12, you can take more and more of it, and your body tends to suppress its absorption. It's so hard to absorb B12 in the first place. That's why it needs to be specially protected and in a special form, which is what we do. So just the B12 alone justifies the purchase.
That pretty much pays for the price. Look at that.
But then what I was pointing out before, those 5 ingredients at $250, if you then consider, we're not considering the cost of lutein, lycopene, zeaxanthin, our 5 MTHF, those are the most, and our biotin, those are the 5 most expensive ingredients in the formula. If you just look at their cost per kilo, those aren't even considered there. So I have a quote from a study from the US government that when they recommend that the place where everyone should start in terms of dietary supplementation is a daily multivitamin, multimineral, because those are the nutrients that define a healthy diet. Those nutrients are not readily available in the typical diet, and a multivitamin, multimineral, what they emphasize, tends to be much more affordable than buying all of those individual components. So what's great about this, because we deliver them literally at separate product levels, when you get that 400 capsule supply, that's a year's worth.
Wow.
Most folks, when they get their multivitamin, it's usually a month or 2 or 3 at most. So with one delivery, one bottle, that's a year's worth. But it's a year's worth that delivers separate nutrient quantity. So you're really eliminating multiple bottles. So it's really an efficient way to shop, the most economical way to shop, and also the most environmentally friendly way to shop, because it eliminates all these other deliveries, all these other bottles, and all these other packages.
Absolutely. And you know what, recent events aside, this is such a great gift that you do for yourself or somebody else that you love and care about. I know I was talking about my dad and my mom, and sometimes as seniors, it's hard to get them to get all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that they should get into their diet. And isn't it nice to know whether you're doing this for yourself, and you should, because can't take care of the people if you're not taking care of yourself. You're getting the best pricing, you're getting the world's finest multivitamin, and done in a way that no one else is doing, but you're also paying it forward. So it's pretty hard to say no to this for so many reasons, especially if you're doing it for somebody that you love and care about. So with that free shipping, there is a 30-day return policy on absolutely everything that we offer here at HSN. It's something that in many ways, yes, it pays it forward, but it also helps for me, propels me to eat better, propels me to think better, propels me to do better things. And that's something that you can do for somebody else that you love too.
And I look at the screen, while you're talking, I was reading the graphics. It really doesn't do this product justice. You know, the 2,000 IU of vitamin D3, the 250 micrograms of methyl B12, the natural form of B12, the 5 MTHF, the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. It sounds synthetic, it sounds chemical, but that's actually the natural form of folic acid in your body. I can't metabolize standard folic acid, and a lot of folks are like me. Probably at least a third of the population are like me, maybe more. So the kinds of considerations that go into this product, it's important all the time to have that kind of consideration given to the daily multivitamin, multimineral you make. Plus, on a more superficial level, a less technical level, the typical tablets, they're hard to swallow. You know, it's funny, you could give me 30, 40 capsules and I could swallow them easily. You could give me one tablet and for whatever reason it floats around, it swims around in my mouth, it'll get stuck in my throat, I can't swallow them. But capsules, it's why a lot of these products will call their product, they'll call them tabsules or caplets or things like that, because they know that we all prefer capsules. They're easier to swallow. But there's only one true capsule. It has to be soft and squishy. And it contains an ultrafine powder, and that's what we do. There's no binders or fillers or other ingredients. And those rock hard tablets are enormous. I mean, this is half the remnants of a little capsule there. And when you look at the artificial colors they contain, and again, they slam them under thousands of pounds of pressure per square inch in a tableting press, and that's how they turn those into tablets. It's the cheapest way to make a vitamin, but it isn't the best way to make a vitamin. If you were making a vitamin for yourself, you'd be doing what we do. You'd take those powders that are the vitamins and minerals, the carotenoids that you want, because that's the form they come in, and then what you would do is you wouldn't put additives in. You'd be forced to move your company to Henderson, Nevada in the desert, because the low humidity allows you to make those products without lubricants or flowing agents or additives. So I took my life from Santa Monica and moved it all the way to the desert of Nevada to be able to make the products at the level of purity that you require. And that's actually the front of our new building, which has, we can add even more solar panels, but right now we generate more power than we need. And as we have requirements for more power, we'll add solar panels.
It's true.
So we're not burning any fossil fuels. We're not creating any pollution to generate the power to make your vitamins. That looks like a cartoon. It doesn't look like it's real, but it's
That's right,
but it is real.
does.
And those solar panels cover our parking lot, so the cars get to stay cool during the summer. But we want to be responsible, not just in terms of the product you receive, that it is without question the finest multivitamin. And I encourage you to read the reviews. I read lots of them over the course of the day. But to think that this product has 3,500 reviews approximately, and over 3,000 of them are perfect 5-star reviews. That means that almost 90% of the reviews of a multivitamin, multi-mineral that's ultra high potency, those reviews are perfect 5-star reviews. If you add 4-star reviews, you get pretty darn close to 95%. So that's just an incredible testament to the quality of this product. So we always deserve the best quality and the appropriate potency, the potency that the systems in our body deserve and require. We deserve that all the time. We certainly focus on it, I think, with an enhanced focus this time.
And isn't it nice to know that you're making a sound decision, a great decision, you're armed with knowledge, but really there is no other multivitamin like this in the world. The simple truth of the matter is we all try our utmost best, and if this is just a friendly reminder to eat better, to drink more water, to try to get as much sleep as you can, then by all means take advantage of that special, today's special pricing. Remember, on the 50, 180, 200, or 400, it's big savings regardless, almost $100 off if you're doing that 400 count size. Remember, pricing goes here if you are new to HSN. That means you are you're doubling your capsule size for less than you would spend for the 200. So if you are going to that 400 cap size, remember today, it's almost $100 off, and it's less than $80, $79.90. But even the 200 count at $94.90 is still a great value when the pricing does go here. And if you are channel surfing, because we get a lot of new faces, remember some of the things that you know you should be getting, whether it's B12 in a form that you can absorb, whether it's vitamin D at levels no one else does. Either one of those pays for your purchase if you're doing that 400 count, just as an aside, but then calcium and vitamin C and magnesium. And that's not even factoring in the lutein and the biotin and the countless other vitamins and minerals and nutrients that you're getting with no additives, no binders, no fillers. No
allergens.
No allergies, nothing, none of that.
None of the potential problems. We just deliver the benefits you seek. And each of the ingredients in this are things that are scientifically required by your body. So these are not things that are arbitrarily put in there for some intangible or uncertain purpose. These are all nutrients that we require. And in fact, they're the nutrients that define a healthy diet. What's a healthy diet? It's a nutrient-rich diet. And what do I always say? The best diet is a diet that's rich and dense in nutrients and not so rich, not so dense in calories. Unfortunately, we tend to eat the other way. What this supplement is, it's entirely rich in nutrients. There's no calories. So it's just giving you the components that unfortunately so many of us don't get adequately from our diet. And with what's going on in the world right now, we're not sure if we're going to be able to get all the fresh fruit and produce and all the foods we'd like to deliver all the nutrients we need. So a dietary supplement, a basic foundational vitamin mineral supplement at the proper levels in the proper forms are something we need. And I was just going to read some more reviews before we wrap this up. But awesome product, doctors impressed. Even my primary medical doctor was impressed with this. Having it in a powder form so my body can get all the vitamins instead of those hard, solid pills that end up passing through and out of your body before they're even all used. I noticed my doctor reading the label when I showed him the bottle, and he liked what he read. Must be a real item. I keep ordering this, that is for sure. Rusty from California.
Nice.
A must for your daily regimen. I've taken this for a year. This product does not upset your stomach, does not make you hungry, and does not leave a bad taste in your mouth. I recently had my annual physical, and my doctor was amazed with all my blood work totals. The totals have improved and are within range. My husband and family members are now taking this and can feel the difference. The absolute best. I love these and all of Andrew's vitamins. I had bypass surgery done 10 years ago, and taking vitamins are mandatory and essential to good health after. However, I had a problem because all other vitamins made me sick.
Yeah.
Even if I took them at night and with food. I take 3 types of his vitamins every morning, and sometimes not with food. And I have never had a problem. I feel so much better, and my doctor is happy that I have finally found a vitamin I can take. If you had problems in the past with vitamins, try these. I think you'll be happy you did. Thank you so much, Andrew. Great product. I shared the label with my doctor, who said he thought it was great. This has things in it that I was taking supplements of anyhow, so I have been able to cut down on buying extra products in stores. So we hear a lot of times that it eliminates a handful of other products. Wow. All I can say is, wow. I've tried many different vitamins, and Essential One is the bomb. I've been taking this for about 6 months, and I don't feel the need for the daily naps, and I always get compliments on my nails and hair because they are growing so fast. This has the same level of biotin as my original healthy hair, skin, and nails of 25 years ago, wow. Which has never happened with the other ones. My doctor loves my test results, and so do I. Thank you. Gastroenterologist approved. Wow. And we hear that a lot because a lot of folks struggle with GERD, and the last thing you need is a multivitamin that aggravates your symptoms. My husband and I have been taking Essential One vitamins for over a year. We are in our late 60s and belong to a gym and work out 3 times a week. I feel these are a safe vitamin to take since they don't have any sugar or common allergens in them. They don't have gluten. I have celiac and Crohn's disease, and they have never caused any gut discomfort. Celiac is sensitivity to gluten. I've had 2 doctors look at them, and they felt it was a good quality vitamin. We just ordered 2 bottles of the 360 capsules from Candy in Ohio. Great vitamins. Again, my doctor said he could see a marked improvement in my vitamin D3 levels, as well as better overall healthy blood test. And you get to see that with a multivitamin, not with a separate D, but with a multivitamin with levels like a separate vitamin D. I also use the Ultimate Eye Support capsules, and my eye doctor reports improvement there as well.
Nice.
Quality product. Andrew, I am recovering from breast cancer, and so I truly appreciate you improving on an already outstanding product. I took my container into the doctor, and she was very impressed. This is my 2nd year on Essential One, and I'm convinced that between this and the Ultimate Friendly Flora, I am in better health today. Last one, feeling the difference. I've been taking Essential One for more than a year, and at first I didn't seem to notice a difference. The difference was well noted in my yearly blood work. My levels were the closest to normal they had been in years. I continued taking Essential One until one day the container was empty. Oh boy, my order couldn't get here fast enough. I really noticed a difference without them. I was tired, sluggish, and moody. Happily, I received them, started taking them again, and am feeling better. My family is happy they arrived too. I even got family members to try them.
But you know what? I think that's a case in point. I mean, if people notice a difference with their vitamins, it's normally a negative aspect. Oh, it repeated. Oh, it gave me a tummy ache. Oh, it, you know.
You're so right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so for you to notice a difference in a good way, I mean, that's saying something.
And then also to how often, the biggest complaint with the multivitamin is the fact that they upset your stomach, hard to swallow, all those sorts of things. And also that you don't see a difference. You don't feel a difference. You don't notice a difference. Here we have all sorts of reviews throughout the day, seeing what a dramatic difference was felt taking them, dramatic difference if they stopped taking them, and even more objectively, not subjectively, but the doctors are noticing a difference when they look at, say, their vitamin D levels or their B12 levels. And this not from a separate vitamin, but from a multivitamin that delivers delivers levels like a separate vitamin.
Absolutely. So I know you see that clock on your screen. Time has just flown by. Andrew Lessman is here, and this is his last show of the visit. Please remember, we have a couple of other today's specials that will be really abbreviated looks as we finish out this last several minutes together. So take a moment. I know you've been listening and learning. Read some of those reviews, but definitely take action, because yes, knowledge is power, but the right multivitamin, and I think we could all agree, headlines aside, we should be doing this today, tomorrow, and forward. You're paying it forward if you're getting it for somebody that you love and care about, because you are doing it not only in the finest form possible, but for the best pricing. Andrew does this once a year and once a year only. Decide if you want the 50, 100, 200, or 400. Most of us, with approaching that 48,000 mark being spoken for, are gravitating to those larger sizes. The 400 count is only today. So remember that, or only as a today's special, I should say. Pricing goes here, and then here's your pricing today. Those are your savings. Remember, you can double that capsule size for less than you will spend. And actually that holds true pretty much on any of the sizes, even on some of the introductory ones. Best vitamin B, best vitamin D, biotin, lutein, calcium, vitamin C, magnesium, done in forms that your body can liberate and really take advantage of. And I really want to encourage you to take advantage of it. Today, and certainly, once more, headlines aside, I think we're now more keenly aware of how important we are and instrumental in doing and making the best decisions for our own health. And this is a perfect platform, a perfect foundation to start, especially if you are new to HSN and the Andrew Lessman difference. We would love to send it your way. Remember, on that 400 count size alone, it is almost $100 savings. A little over $20 gets it at home. Free shipping on any of these with a 30-day return policy. And really empower yourself and make a great decision that takes just seconds a day, basically.
It's, as I said, doing the sort of healthy things that we hear the doctors on television recommending, making sure we get adequate sleep, that we still remain active, that we make sure we eat a healthy diet, that we make sure that we're adequately hydrated, because hydration is part of how our immune system protects us. So we want to make sure we do all those things. It's not just about us individually, but to the extent we all collectively do those things, it's going to mean our collective experience as a country will fare better. So we want to make sure if we focus on our diet for one time, then make this the time to focus on our diet and focus on adequate sleep and focus on adequate hydration. Maybe reduce, even though we're stressed, if we could reduce our alcohol intake, if we could reduce our sugar intake. These are all things that are good friends to our immune system, good friends to healthy sleep, reducing our caffeine intake a little bit perhaps. So make it a good excuse to adopt a little bit, perhaps a better lifestyle and dietary habits. And again, what defines a healthy diet are the vitamins and minerals contained in that healthy diet. I know it is a little bit difficult perhaps right now to get all the different items we might want from the supermarket, so it's a nice opportunity to, with a multivitamin, to at least have the insurance of the vitamins and minerals that define a healthy diet, to have those at our disposal. As I talked about earlier, we have our Ultimate Oat Bran and oatmeal, which can come directly to your door. We have our Secure Meal Replacement, which is highly nutritious and extremely affordable. So we have some tools that we're going to continue to have available. They're not going anywhere. We're making sure, we've made sure that we had adequate inventory of all these things. So we're not going anywhere. We're here for you. So it's going to be an interesting period of time for all of us over the next several weeks. So we just have to pay attention, make smart decisions, and we make better decisions when we remain calm. Don't watch too much of the news. Just stay informed. Don't let the news get you too crazy, because it does that to me. So just take a deep breath, stay calm, make good decisions, and we'll all be better off for it.
Absolutely.
This too shall pass.
It shall indeed. And
yes.
Isn't it nice to know, though, you are making the right decision, whether it's on your behalf or for somebody else that you love and care about. I mean,
right.
You really are.
And yeah, and a multivitamin, as I said before, if there's any product that I could ever talk about in terms of all the systems in our body, it's a multivitamin, multimineral. Ours even better with the carotenoids, and we make sure that we give you the levels that are meaningful, just not minimum levels that have their roots or basis in the minimum daily requirements, but really give you the levels that are meaningful, the levels that you'd seek even if you were looking for a separate supplement. And that's what you get And it's in my product, not just the levels you seek, but the forms that most of us aren't even aware of, because, you know, the typical multivitamins that are 99% of the marketplace, that are either the big brand names we know of or the supermarkets or discount stores, they make their own versions of those brands. It's not in their interest to educate you and say, you know, the form of B12 we use, it's synthetic, and it liberates small amounts of cyanide when you take it. And the vitamin E we use, no, that's synthetic too. And the vitamin C we use, it's kind of acidic, so if you have GI issues, it might aggravate those GI issues. It's not in their interest to educate you that there are better options in terms of the content of a supplement, in terms of the quality of the choice of nutrient. I make sure that when I make my Essential One, the only choices that are made are the choices that are in your best interest, to the extent we deliver our folic acid in a form that's over $20,000 a pound, the 5-MTHF, 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. And that's because so many of us, myself included, can't metabolize standard folic acid. So there's nothing like our Essential One anywhere, in any marketplace, online, in a store. So it truly is a unique opportunity to give yourself what you need, not just now, but this applies to the last 41 years. It's always been head and shoulders above any other product. For
sure. And even though a historic first for Andrew, he is going to keep this today's special pricing available. But
it's important to know that, that it's normally midnight this would be gone. We're going to make sure, we're going to take stock of inventory. We're going to make sure we have it available for the next few days. And if we can, we'll keep it available to April 1st. Okay. These are extraordinary times. This is an extraordinary multivitamin. Sure. It's foundational nutrition. So to the extent we can, we're going to keep it available. Not just keep it available, but we're going to have this same Today Special price and the same Today Special configuration, because no one should be prejudiced for not, especially during these times, for not being around today.
For sure. The only caveat that I'll say to that is I always say strike while the iron's hot, because, you know, I get good intentions. And
well, we're going to do our best to keep it for the next few days. Hopefully longer.
There you go. Yep. And especially if there's somebody that you know and love that you'd love to try that, you might even want to consider grabbing that for them. Okay, wow, time is almost up, but we have...
So we just wanted to mention 2 minutes each, literally, on our cinnamon and cranberry, our other two Today Specials. We'll start with cinnamon. Okay. And cinnamon is an extract of cinnamon bark, but done entirely differently. Normally, when you're talking about cinnamon spice, it's just cinnamon bark. But this is an extract of that cinnamon bark where we remove the things you don't want. We target the components that support healthy blood sugar metabolism, healthy insulin metabolism, something that so many of us are focusing on pretty much all the time. Unfortunately, as Americans have become, as our waistlines have challenged us, as we become overweight or obese, it's just a simple physiologic, biochemical fact of life that we're going to become more challenged in our ability to manage our blood sugar. And of course, always follow your doctor's recommendations in this regard. I always say this about blood sugar. I say this about blood pressure, that you don't want to move through life without these numbers being well managed. To the extent you can find a natural tool to support those efforts that your doctor and you are already making, that's fantastic. And that's what I was looking for decades, until cinnamon bark extract came along. So now we have a tool a natural tool at your disposal to enhance the efforts you're making with diet, with lifestyle, perhaps changing body composition, and following your doctor's recommendations, perhaps certain medications. There's nothing about this product that should conflict with any medication you might be taking.
Absolutely not. And remember, you can choose the cinnamon or the cranberry. They're both in the same sizing.
Same sizing, same price for the same size.
Right.
And when you get the largest size, the 720, if you get one of each, a 720 of cinnamon, a 720 of cranberry, you take another $20 off, $10 off each. If you get the 360 of cinnamon, 360 of cranberry, you get another $5 off each. So on the 720s, you're barely over a dime a capsule. And this is not a 3, 4, 5 capsule a day product. This is a 1 capsule a day product. In fact, all the reviews I read earlier, every one of them referred to 1 capsule, whether it was cranberry or whether it was cinnamon. So to think that you're getting the experience you want for a dime,
wow,
that's just incredible. And only a little bit more expensive if you go for the 360, a few pennies more a day.
It's really remarkable. And read some of those reviews. I know time does not permit us to do it now, but they read like love letters for sure. So again, on your cranberry, you know, same sizing, same pricing, bonus buy is
And again,
available.
it's as crazy great as the reviews are on cinnamon, I think they're even slightly better in cranberry.
They are.
I think it's about 98% positive reviews. I think cinnamon was only 95 or 96%.
Only.
So they're both incredibly positively reviewed products. But cranberry, as I always say, the best way to sum it up, I remember when I started in this industry 41 years ago, so many natural ingredients were just out of hand, just dismissed, certainly dismissed by most physicians now, and it's incredible how educated physicians have become, that so many now recognize, whether it's turmeric or whether it's cinnamon or whether it's cranberry, that these ingredients can do no harm, but they can offer incredible natural benefits. And I always say cranberry is the poster child for a natural product that's gone on to get serious scientific credibility.
Absolutely. So we're delighted that you're calling. I know time has flown by. You're always welcome to shop after the fact. I know a lot of you are going to be doing that, myself included.
And just please remember that Essential One, we are keeping the Today Special configuration. We are keeping that Today Special pricing for the next several days at least. I'll try to do it if I can all the way to April 1st. I'm not sure if we'll make it, but again, we recognize these are extraordinary times, and this is an opportunity to support your diet with the vitamins and minerals that are really defining of a healthy diet.
For sure. But if you're like me, sometimes time gets away with me. I always like to select things when they're on the top of my radar. So definitely I want to encourage you to do that. Great idea for yourself or anybody you love. We love you, Andrew. Thank you for a great weekend.
And everyone, just relax, hang in there. This too shall pass, as difficult as it might be.
All right.
God bless.
Thank you. Take care. Beekmans are coming up next.